As a kid, I found some sort of joy in hurting kids younger than me. This happened for probably a year when I was somewhere between 7-10, I think. I lived in a small town, so all of the kids were friends, so I'd hang out with different people whenever they weren't busy. For about a year, I hung out with this one girl who was probably a year younger than me. She had two younger brothers. One was maybe 5, and the other was probably 3. The youngest was the one I'd hurt. I'll call him Trey for the sake of easy storytelling. Trey was a bit behind. By that I mean he was old enough to talk, but wasn't yet. He was able to run around and everything, though. Trey would be around sometimes when I was playing with my friend, and for some reason at some point, I had hurt him. I don't know all the instances that this happened, but I think it happened multiple times. I think I'd pinch him or do other small stuff, but it was enough to make him cry. Genuinely, I have no idea why I did it. I think it gave me some sort of rush. The main thing I remember was probably the last time I'd hurt Trey. I feel so incredibly guilty thinking about what happened. I feel sick to my stomach just remembering. My friend had gone inside, and Trey was still outside with me. There was this little metal shed of sorts that we were standing by, and I just pushed him into it. His face hit it, and he turned around while crying, and he was bleeding. I think it was a nosebleed. He ran inside, and I think I went in after him and acted like I didn't know what happened. There's a part of me now that thinks, you were a child. You didn't know any better. But another part that says, you deserve to feel guilty. You hurt an innocent kid. I don't know how to feel or what to do. I wish I could go back in time and never do all of that, or at the very least apologize. I'm sure and hoping the kid doesn't remember what happened. If he does, I wish I could tell him how sorry I am. I don't know why I did it. Since then, I haven't thought of hurting anyone. I'm an adult now and I want to move on from my childhood, but just knowing what I did haunts me. Edit. I wanted to give a bit more info about myself to see if it helps anyone understand why I could have done it. I didn't include this info before because I don't want people to think I'm playing the victim. I was diagnosed with selective mutism at 5. This is essentially when you are mute, but talk to a select few people. Like you genuinely cannot get yourself to talk in some cases. This still affects me to this day. I'm now 19. I grew up with parents who fought constantly, yelling at each other, sometimes hitting. Cops were always called on them because of it. My mom has mental issues, as do I. She has bipolar disorder, depression, etc. I have depression, anxiety, and possibly autism, not diagnosed. When the cops were called, my mom would play hide and seek with them, as she said. She's hide in the yard for them to find her. She was taken to a mental hospital twice that I remember. As someone stated, maybe I was trying to find a sense of control since my home life was so chaotic. Of course, this doesn't justify anything, but it gives a possible reason for what I did. I still hate feeling like I have no control, like if someone is driving and I'm a passenger, I hate it. I want to be the one driving. This is a metaphor and also just an example. Also, for people saying I don't feel guilty enough and that they hope I get my karma. As stated before, I have MDD, major depressive disorder, and I've had a depressive episode recently over what I did. On top of that, I cry thinking about that boy sometimes. I'm going to reach out to the parents. I want to. I'm just trying to figure out what to say, how to prepare for the guilt, and I can't stop thinking about how much pain it will cause them to hear what I did. I want to apologize, though. I'm a completely different person now, by the way. I'd never harm a soul. In fact, I don't even kill bugs. I'm interested in Buddhism, which focuses a lot on not harming others in any way. When I hear stories of people being hurt, I feel terrible for them. Sometimes I cry for them. I am a very emotional person now, to say the least. I cry over happy and sad stuff and when I'm angry, etc. Anyway, I know it might not mean anything to some people to hear that I've changed, but I have. And I've certainly gotten my karma. I have a baby nephew who will likely be behind with his speech. All I can do is do my best to protect him from people like my younger self and hope he starts talking soon.